But the problem I'm seeing is the problem of fragmented compute resources. Users of, the significant demand of AI services, they're looking for reliable, scalable, and ready to use AI services. They are not interested of touching every piece of fragmented GPUs and manually managing and migrating. When one piece went down, the other, pops up, for example. So there is a gap of user experience in current decentralized marketplaces.
None of the information in this podcast constitutes investment advice or an offer, recommendation, or solicitation by WAGMI Ventures or any of its affiliates to buy or sell any securities. Hey everyone, Benga here with another WAGMI Ventures podcast episode. On today's show, we're going to be joined by another interesting founder in the AI space, Oliver Shen. Oliver is the co-founder of Gata AI. Gata AI is an API-driven platform for fully managed, decentralized inference and trading services. For anyone who is new, this is the WAGMI Ventures podcast, where we do snapshots with interesting builders, founders, investors across AI and crypto. Check out wagmiventures.io to learn more about the syndicate behind the podcast. All right, let's get into it with Oliver. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Benga. Pleasure to be here. Let's get a conversation going.
Absolutely. It's great to talk about all the interesting things you're doing in the space, and more specifically with Gata. I think one of your mission statements or focus areas is accelerating safe superintelligence with decentralized AI data. How did you and your team arrive at this vision, and what inspired you to focus on super alignment as a mission?
Yeah, this actually the focus stems from my PhD research. So actually I graduated from my PhD last year from Singapore. And for the previous 5 years, I was doing PhD mainly on the area of AI fairness, safety, and alignment. So I do see the mission of aligning AI with human goals is going to be more critical, especially the capability-wise, AI is exceeding humans. Actually has always been my research focus.
That's interesting. And so this was all birthed from all the research work, I'm guessing?
Well, the thing that we are doing are pretty new and not necessarily bursts of my research, but I guess the topic and the passion really carries over from my research.
Gotcha. And how does this all align with crypto? Where is the crypto impact or the relationship here?
I see crypto really as an element, especially in what we're doing, as an element to mobilize and aggregate and incentivize individuals. For example, our very first product is a Chrome extension that let users share their conversation with ChatGPT with us. So we can rebuild the proprietary ChatGPT dataset, which is previously only living inside OpenAI, but outside now, and the ability to benefit other developers of models to compete with OpenAI and for a more competitive landscape in model development. And all of that, economic-wise, cannot live without crypto, because crypto is, simply put, the most effective mobilizing channel that we are seeing.
Gotcha. I mean, building this form certainly comes with a lot of technical and ethical hurdles. I mean, we're going to come back to the ChatGPT piece of what you're doing, but wanted to just understand what challenges, both technical and ethical, that you have faced in developing. And I know one of your tools is the DVA, the Data Validation Agent. Maybe you can talk about the challenges in developing that tool.
Yeah, for sure. So let me give you a brief overview of what we are currently doing at Gata and our mission is and how we are advancing in that mission. So the brief overview is, I always try to give these analogies. So if you think about NVIDIA as a company, on one side is making GPU, but on the other side is also developing networking solutions to interconnect GPUs in data centers. So if you are a data center, you buy GPU from NVIDIA, probably with high chance you're also buying their networking solutions so that you can connect tens of thousands of GPUs in data center and provide it as a scalable service to anyone who are interested in doing training or inference. Then this infrastructure layer, a lot of people are trying to decentralize it because apparently there's a cost advantage if we can decentralize this infrastructure. And most current attempts are focused on the GPU aspect. They turn it into a marketplace where GPU can be provided for individuals, and then this GPU can be rented to those who wanted to use them. But no one has been trying to develop the networking aspect of this business. And this is, in fact, more critical in decentralized environment than in data centers, because in data centers, they are co-located. So without more sophisticated or advanced networking, you still have just Ethernet solutions to connect them. But in decentralized environment, if you do not have this networking solution, you will be living with isolated GPUs, one GPU, maybe maximum 8 GPUs in a rack. And you can rent them in marketplaces, but at the end of the day, you need reliable, scalable, and ready-to-use services. You do not want to touch all of these isolated resources. And that's a problem that we've seen at Gata. And that's why we are developing a software version of interconnect solutions across the whole internet so that we provide API access comparable and actually interoperable to Web2 services, and without letting users touch all of these decentralized systems, isolated GPUs, etc. We provide the middleware that manage all of these. And that's what we do at Gata. And I'm not gonna lie, the technology to develop is quite challenging, and there are a few companies targeting this aspect as well. And we have a immature infrastructure currently running, supporting our two consumer-facing products. One is Data Agent, which leverage these decentralized inference specifically for large-scale synthetic data generation. And the second is Gata GPT, which leverage decentralized inference to support a 100% free chat platform, which provides some unique features, which I can share later on. Yeah, but that's a general overview of what Gata is doing and how we see moving forward.
Gotcha. And can you just share a little bit on some of the challenges that you have, both ethical and technical, that you've overcome in the journey so far?
Yeah, the technical question is, well, interestingly, one of the technical challenges we encounter is from OpenAI. So one of the early attempts, like the previous kind of thing that we were working on, is try to bootstrap data, user data, conversations with ChatGPT, and then reproduce it outside OpenAI. And we ended up in a cat and mouse game with OpenAI. So we have to find a way to somehow automatically get the data from the ChatGPT website, but of course, upon the user agreement. But users cannot just copy and paste the conversation to us. That's going to be too much of a hassle and not a good user experience. But OpenAI constantly upgrade their website strategies, and I don't know if they are targeting us or not, but I think they have a general goal of making it difficult for others to automatically read the conversations from ChatGPT.
And if you were looking at sort of like how you guys approach the use of these AI applications, how is your approach different from any other player in the space? And can you sort of give us a real world example?
Yeah. I think this is more of the question I can answer from a competitor perspective. What are other people's offerings in this infrastructure level? So one, of course, which this infrastructure level is currently dominated by cloud providers who provide AI services to Web2 players. They're currently dominating the market. Probably over 90% of the market is dominated by cloud providers. they are taking a large piece of a cake from these, basically monopolization. The Q1 2025 AWS operating margin is already 40%. So this is what centralized platforms are doing. And they run a centralized model. They build data centers themselves, and then they rent the compute resources, AI services from these data centers to developers. And we are working on a decentralization approach, which is currently a exploration and experimentation. But there are people within decentralization are taking the different approach as well, which is what I call marketplace platforms, meaning that they set up a marketplace. GPUs can register themselves from individuals on the platform and waiting to be rented by individuals. So that it provided an open platform where decentralized GPUs can service inference and training demands as well. But the problem I'm seeing is the problem of fragmented compute resources. Users of the significant demand of AI services, they are looking for reliable, scalable, and ready-to-use AI services. They are not interested of touching every piece of fragmented GPUs and manually managing and migrating. When one piece went down, the other pops up, for example. So there is a gap of user experience in current decentralized marketplaces. And that's where we want Gata to provide a unique experience. We want to provide Web 2 level experience, API access. We manage all the middleware, and we open the infrastructure so that people can contribute, compute to us freely. But users also enjoy a transparent pricing and also the cost reduction of decentralized compute resources. And yeah, that's a general picture of people working in this direction.
Hey, everybody. Quick thing here. We're excited to announce WAGMI Advisory, your home for all things fundraising, hiring, and partnerships. This is all about supercharging your project with the WAGMI network, consisting of over 20,000 executives, investors, and builders in crypto, all ready to come alongside your project to help it succeed. Get in touch at team@wagmiventures.io to learn more and figure out if WAGMI Advisory is the right fit for your project. Let's get back to the show. Got it. And I think also in that same line, one of your product, Gata GPT, it's basically like your all-in-one AI chat, which was launched last month. Congratulations. As I understand it, it provides responses from ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini to eliminate bias and enhance insights.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about the product and how it works to ensure the quality and diversity of responses?
For sure. There are actually many elements involved in this consumer-facing product. One, it is a test bed for us to test our decentralized inference infrastructure, because we need to stress test our infrastructure. And before we open it up to other external users, we want to test it within our own applications. So the infrastructure level is actually different, but the users doesn't see it. And second, since we provide everything for free on Gata GPT, we deliberately change the user experience so that user contribute some form of economic value back to us as well. That's why on Gata GPT, you do not chat with one AI, but two AIs in randomized order and anonymized form. So every question you ask, you see two responses. And when you continue, you either default select the first response, or you click the one you prefer, and the preferred one will stay in your conversation context and the other one just disappear. So it's mandatory, and it truthfully incentivizes the users to select their preferred response when they continue. And this experience, we believe it will be beneficial to users on its own. And also it creates a very valuable data set, which is real world conversations coupled with users' truthful preferences. And this data on default, we do not have access to it, but users will have the option of sharing the data with us, uploading on chain, and then earn rewards based on the quality of their data. So in this form, we get some economic value from users' chat experience, which we hope to give back to the infrastructure level compute contribution which we are providing for free. So it's a end-to-end value proposition and realization from infrastructure to the data side.
Yeah, thank you for that background and context there. I think one of the other things that in just studying about the Gata GPT, one of the other features, even though it's free, there is a sub feature, I guess, that you compensate users and allow them to monetize their conversations by turning them into valuable data. How's that experience been? And like, what has been the user response to this feature?
Yeah. I think users like it very much. They're happy to tolerate less smooth user experience and fewer features, but with the ability to monetize their data that they generate pretty much without any effort, because chatting with AI has been daily experience that they're just doing on daily basis. It's not a task that they have to put in extra hours to do. And I think that's a great trend that we're seeing. Users are interested in bootstrapping less mature products in return with ownership and economic value from their own contribution of data.
Talk also about Gata's GPT points reward system. And I believe this is also connected to the GPT to earn feature where you reward users for contributing data. Yeah. Can you give a bit more insights into what that is looking like? Maybe it's similar to your previous answer here, but if there's any additional context or color you can provide, that would be great. And how you're incentivizing user participation and ensuring that they're using the data in an ethical way.
So the GPT to earn feature is a feature that we provide in the Gata GPT product. Basically, what it does is it provides an option, which is not mandatory, for users to contribute their data to us, and then we secure it on chain and reward users based on the economic value of the data that they upload. And by doing so, basically, we have a way of incentivizing users to contribute data back to us, because at the end of the day, everything we provide is for free on the platform. And we do hope in some way we can have some value in the form of data that is accumulating. And second, I think it's a way of go-to-market for Gata GPT as well. We are not competing. Well, we try our best, but frankly speaking, especially in the AI space, a lot of startups are moving very quickly, improving models, user experience all the time. And as a small team, we are not all in that front, but we differentiate by offering the option for users to monetize their data. And so far, it's been working great. Users, not only crypto native users, but just normal AI users, are finding this concept very interesting. And so they are voluntarily changing their user behavior from ChatGPT occasionally to our platform. And
Makes sense. As you look ahead in your mission to fuel super intelligence and in ensuring human alignment, what are the bold steps that you're taking to ensure that AI remains safe and beneficial? Because your work means we start to approach superhuman capabilities. And so I just want to understand how you guys are taking steps to ensure it remains safe.
The very first step we're taking is exactly from the data set that we are aggregating from Gata GPT. So if you record the user experience of Gata GPT is you have to select your preferred response when you continue the conversation. And this preference data on one side is it has a lot of other economic value as well. But one of the kind of public for good aspect of the data is that it provides the ability to understand what human truly desires and values and also their ideology in different geographic locations so that AI can be fine-tuned in better alignment with regional differences, regional preferences. And let me give you one concrete example. OpenAI is setting up entities worldwide in Japan, in UK, in Middle East. And one of the purposes of doing so is to fine-tune the primary offering, ChatGPT, to regional culture and preferences. Probably most notably is Japan. ChatGPT in its US form, there's no way to enter Japanese market. There's a whole totally different culture and the language is different, etc. And this is where our human preference data can contribute to the mission of aligning AI with humanity. And to be frank, we are breaking a monopolization here as well, because these human preference data currently there aren't many out there. And the only company that's able to have a large scale of these data is just OpenAI because they have the largest user base. They sneak in a feature which generates true responses at the same time occasionally and nudge users to provide labeling, preference labeling for free to OpenAI. And so, yeah, that's the first step we're tackling towards human AI alignment and addressing the safety alignment issue of increasingly capable AI systems.
That's really powerful. And I think the approach to continue to develop systems or processes that keep it safe is really what you're hearing a lot of folks in the community talk about as we continue to engage and advance AI. In what you have established so far, because I know you have a strong following and a strong user base, is there anything from the Gata community that is driving some of how you shape your development?
I do not have any like specific significant pieces in place, but we always receive, we have a bounty program and we always receive feedbacks regarding product bugs, bad experiences from community members. And I mean, they have been always there to provide feedback on our products.
Got it. Got it. Cool. So, outside all of this, what else in crypto and AI excites you?
Yeah, I'm an AI person. I did my research in AI, and AI is definitely the number one assignment for me right now. And I'm definitely biased, but I don't know. I see it as bigger than crypto. It's a generational transformative technology. People say it's the new electricity revolution, potential to disrupt all industries. And one of the things that I'm personally quite interested about the crypto integration of AI is AI and a stablecoin. For those who are familiar with crypto, we basically had an AI agent cycle earlier this year. And then people are exploring all directions of how AI can be integrated with crypto. With crypto, yes.
Gata, I also feel like embraces both. Even though it does feel like the core is AI, the message of decentralization kind of carries through in how you're building and the application of your product as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's our core strengths is to do the AI endeavor in a decentralized way. That's the way we compete. That's the way we differentiate.
Nice. No, this has been really helpful. Maybe because of the intricacies of the
Mhm.
platform, certainly some navigating there around the responses around like how, what you're building and the technicalities around the product. And of course, the challenges that you have carried through. So I really appreciate you like walking us through what Gata is doing. Definitely a huge fan of AI myself and the benefits of AI as a technology. So I want to admire and applaud you for what you're doing in the space, and look forward to having you on to hear more of the new and exciting things that you're doing.
Yeah, not at all. Thank you so much, Benga, for having me here. And yeah, it's really my pleasure. Happy to see this podcast out.
Awesome. Well, thanks and take care.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and give us a good 5-star rating and subscribe wherever you're getting your podcasts so you can get all the latest conversations from the most interesting founders, builders, and investors from across the world. Thanks so much and have a good one.